Healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing to have you here, Liz.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be
Welcome
here.
to Lady Journey.
Welcome, everyone.
It's a new year.
It's a new year. So this is actually a really special episode. Liz, you have no idea. We're springing this on you, but we're officially back from maternity leave.
Yes.
Is this the first one since maternity leave?
Well, we have done we did like an intermittent session, but we've taken like 2 pretty long breaks, and now we're beginning to schedule again regularly.
I got a lot of people who are like, wait, how come you're still pregnant?
I noticed that in the clips. I was like, oh, this must have, I was.
So we're back, but it is exciting for January. Have you guys, I always have big hopes.
But
it actually takes a while to get going in January. Because you have to decompress from the holidays.
You do, or you're sick.
Yes. And you just came back from Christmas, right?
Yeah, and you're just tired.
Coming back from Christmas, you go to Christmas, you're like, wow, finally a vacation. And then you leave and you're like, I think I'm exhausted. What was that? I was baking for 28 hours.
You're hanging out with 30 people in one room.
Yes.
Somebody has a cold.
Yes. Somebody is just out of it. You know, it's just goes on and on and on.
And then you get to like January 5th, right? You're like, okay, I did the new year. I'm hitting the ground running. And then you're exhausted. You cannot think. You're falling over. You're constipated still.
Yeah. It's hard to do a hard launch in January.
It's impossible. And you've come up with these egregious goals for yourself. You're like, I'm never drinking again. I'm never eating sugar. I'm working out every day. And then you do that for one day and you're a wreck.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the difference between you and me. I don't make any of those promises anymore.
You never do
I
it.
gave up on it.
I feel like it's an adult decision to do no more New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. I mean, you have an idea like, oh, I should do this, but it's vague. At best.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a friend.
It's a very vague idea of what you might do, but
I'm going to eat something.
You'll be like, we'll see.
Yeah.
I put down the same goal that I put down for the last 5 years, that even when I wrote it, I'm like, this. Okay.
You're laughing to yourself. I have a friend who, she just shared this with me. I think this is so hilarious. She made her New Year's resolution last year to be, she was like, I will no longer pretend that I like dogs. When people show
like
you
dogs?
she's
okay
more of a cat person.
Okay.
But I think for her, it was more like just an intention to step away from the people-pleasing behavior that you feel come upon you when someone shows you a photo of their dog and you have to be like, oh, la, 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 la. He's so I want to eat him, And then, like you're in like a contest with the other person to out love the dog. I want to eat his face off, and I was like, you know what? That's actually actionable. Something very specific and very small.
I like it because there are times when you go to a house that has dogs and the dog's just nose is right up your crotch and you're like, it's fine.
I know.
It's fine. And you're like, no.
Your dog's molesting me.
It's violating.
I mean, my dog's perfect, so whatever. But like, but it's a small dog. Like a big dog, like smelling you is not pleasant.
It's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
My parents' dog would do that. She would use it as like an intimidation tactic. She would want you to pet her. And then if you didn't pet her, she would just put her nose in your crotch immediately.
It's very weird.
Yeah, and it always feels like
what is this, Stanford?
She's trying to like embarrass you in front of everybody, being like, she's on her period.
But yeah, we're in it. We're in the thick of January. I was telling Sarah, I made my winter purchase an act of self-love, but also of consumerism. I did buy Uggs, which I am wearing them now. My first purchase of Uggs.
Oh, I've never worn them.
Brand. I've never bought. Brand. I only buy dupes because I'm like, I'm not spending $150
I didn't go
on
Kookaburra. I didn't go off-brand.
The Bear Paw.
The Bear Paw.
Yeah.
I've had those before. I think the Bear Paw is a comparable off-brand because they're still using the fleece.
Yes.
Kookaburra is, I think, straight polyester, or their Kookaburra or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the Uggs, I have to tell you, it is such a pleasure to put the shoe on. I mean, I feel... Minus the fact that I have zero arch support, and I feel like I am just a flat-footed, flat-footed mess.
I need arch support.
Yeah. But you can get an insert. But they're so well insulated. I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm back.
Yes. It makes you want to go out.
Yes.
Want to go out.
Which is good for these months, for the next 5 months.
Yes. Where going out feels like a punishment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're like, talking about January, I would say like a year and a half ago, I bought this journal. Like it's supposed to be this organizing tool, and it's a thick book.
Okay.
I think I read about it in Oprah.
Yes.
And I bought it, and it's still sitting in the box on my shelf.
Is it 2023?
No, I think it's one of these vague, like
Gotcha.
you can do it at any time, but it's like extensive.
Is it the Panda Planner? I'll die if it is, because that's my planner.
I don't think it is. I think it's like some journal, and you're supposed to write everything, and it really helps you organize.
Yeah.
But I have not opened it yet.
It didn't help you.
No, it's too daunting.
I actually think journaling or like the planner.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a controversial take, but
Hot take.
I don't think for me it helps being productive.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. My therapist actually diagnosed that my journaling was affecting me badly.
Yes.
Really?
She said it is not good for your mental health.
Oh, get out.
Because you're like, it's keeping you away from actually doing the thing that you need to do. And it makes you think
100%.
that you're doing the thing that you need to do because you're like, it's part this is in order for me to do this, I need to do this first.
Yes.
And it's not what you're doing.
100%. It becomes like a procrastination tactic.
Oh,
Yes.
And you're
I
like,
can
I'll
see
get to
that.
writing after I free write for an hour and a half about my feelings. And then you look back through and you're just like, I hate Connie.
Yes.
You know?
What am I doing? This never works.
And it's one thing for like Oprah to write her goals. She has a whole staff.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like I
And
write
you
my
just
goals
send
and
it.
I'm like, well, how am I ever going to get any of this done? So
Right?
you don't even start doing it.
No, and it's very daunting. I also feel like, okay, so now I've artistically made my plans that took me 2 days.
Yeah. Now it's time to plan again.
Like I have a friend, she's like an artist, and she makes the most beautiful to-do list you've ever
know.
seen.
I
And,
love
like,
those on
different
TikTok when they-
markers and
Yes.
and it's like, girl,
You haven't
do
done
something.
shit.
Just do the list.
Yeah,
Just
do
start.
the list.
Just start it.
Do your laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now. I actually just finished it. Do recommend. It's called Designing Your Day by Claire Diaz-Ortiz. And I remember she was like on all the self-help podcasts like a few years ago. And this book is short. It's only like 100 pages, so it's very readable.
Big fan.
Easy.
I like that.
Easy. There are no weird analogies where she's telling a story about a man whose restaurant burned down. And you know, it's like, and that's why you plan. But she's got this nice little process that she set out for, and it's very obvious where it's like put everything that you want to do on a big list. Then you go through and you choose like what are the things that are dreams, what are the things that are goals, and what are the things that are not either of those. Like I had on my list, I was like, I want to always go in the Delta Sky Lounge. It's like, well, that's not something we can work towards. That's something that you buy if you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you can get that.
Yeah. And like kind of boiling it down to like she said in each of your life categories you should say like okay, business, stand up, life, relationship, whatever. You only have 2 goals or however many you think you can handle, and then you go down further and you break down the processes and for like achieving the goals. And it's a very helpful book, so I recommend it. Recommend it.
Well, I last year did put up some poster board on my door to sort of do that.
Yeah.
But then, our room, we have one extra room in New York that serves as like many things.
Yes.
Like the physical therapy room, the guest room. We do a lot in that storage.
Yeah.
So someone was coming to visit, and I just was
That's
like, oh, I got to
mortifying,
put
yeah.
it, I got to
my
take
God.
it down.
So
I
your goal board.
a
Yeah.
goal
People
board
to see.
away. So
Oh my
now I
God.
just
I'm reading
saw
one script today.
and then I just saw them in the storage closet in that room, and I was like, I should look at those again.
Let's bring the board back out.
Yes, bring
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
board back out.
Claire Diaz-Ortiz actually addresses this in her book. She talks about a story where she was mortified because she stayed in like a friend's guest room and she saw their goal list and she was like so cringed out by it. But so she keeps hers in like a secret location that she looks at every day.
I've sat for people, dog sat or cat sat, and
Oh
I've
my
seen their
God.
goal list on their.
Oh,
It's like 80 grams of protein. Like, no, no one can know about my protein goal.
I know.
Have
I was
sex 7 times a week. It's like, I don't want to know.
Yeah. So mortifying. I always say too, like if you want to know someone's weakness, go to their Pinterest board.
Oh yeah,
where it shows you like how to lose weight in your tummy. Or, like that's like in your Pinterest board. I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing that people know that I'm like working on this,
researching. Yeah,
but yeah, like I just put up the dry erase board with our dates, and Joe, it's like we never update it.
Yeah,
that's what Mike has. He has the dry erase board. He updated it last in the summer, and I'm like, this is a freaking eyesore that it has like your doctor's appointment from July. And he said he's going to use it, so we're not going to take it down.
Oh yeah, this year will be the dry erase board.
This year will be the year.
Yeah,
there's a safety blanket. If I think of something and there's nothing by, I can just write it on here.
Well, I do the Gmail calendar and everything, but then I also have a written one.
Yes.
And because I'm a dork.
Calendar.
And then I bought another calendar that's just like a visual from my desk, but then you really have to update all of them.
You have to do 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost came close to buying
nutty.
It is because I came this year. You're shopping and I'm like, I should probably get a 2024 calendar, and you're like, why? So I go from one calendar to the next, and then all day you're just transcribing calendars.
Yes,
it comes a day. Yeah, it comes a day. Well, I have my Panda planner. I put everything in the Panda planner, which is another method of my own procrastination, I think, where I'm like, I need to buy markers to write my different tasks.
I know, right?
Each task in a different color. And then it's like 4 years later, and I'm like, I never did anything. I never lived. I'm like, can't go out this weekend. I'm working on my schedule.
But my planner looks amazing.
My planner. Yeah. I do the Panda planner, and then I selectively transcribe stuff to the Google Calendar, like really only like shows or stuff that I need people to see. And then I have a desktop calendar, but that's just for me to look at as like a piece of art. And this year we've chosen mushrooms.
I know. I got mine at the dollar store. I didn't want to spend more than $1.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
That's good.
Well, what's the theme of it? Does it
pink
have pictures?
And purple?
Oh, pink and purple.
That's the whole thing. It's $1. I mean,
the theme is $1
for a theme out of a dollar calendar.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
But again,
you can only do so much.
You can't only, and it's a small apartment. It's taking up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Even though it's like,
Oh, all of that does. Now, this year, do you have any comedic goals?
Yes. Tell us about what's going on in your...
That you won't find embarrassing to share with us.
What are my comedic goals? Oh, Lord.
I think for me, like the key for me, like with like comedic goals for me, the key is keep it doing my work with Claire Diaz-Ortiz. Sorry, I'm really monopolizing the conversation with my own goals. I'm like, ladies, I've done some work on myself.
Someone's ahead of the game in January.
Somebody's in their luteal phase, or whichever one is up of the menstrual cycle. I'm in the up phase. I just had my period. So my goals for stand-up this year is 1, I want to submit a late night tape, and 2, I want to write 25 new minutes, because it's something I can do.
Yes.
Something I can do.
That's
it's
a good
not
goal.
Get on a TV show where you're like, oh, I have no control over it. The control is the key.
Yeah.
Well, I should say I do have goals, although, that now looking back to 2 seconds ago, I'm like, maybe this is why I'm not successful, because I can't articulate my goals. But anyway, increasing my online presence. So I am doing videos basically every day, or I try to plan for like a couple of weeks, because like to do it every day and think of something, but if I can like put them in chunks, it really does help.
Yeah.
So that I'm trying to do batching.
Yeah.
So that I really am focusing on and getting more clips of my stand up and things like that.
Well, hey, everybody, follow Liz. Follow Liz.
Comedy.
Yes.
Liz Comedy.
I have a new character, Weird Aunt.
Oh, I love it.
Weird Aunt. So
I love that.
I keep doing the get more clips, and then I can't.
Well, you go in spurts. You got to go in spurts, and then you're doing something else.
Hard.
Yeah.
I put one up last night, and I deleted it immediately.
Why?
Because it was like I just was eating fruit, and I'm like, why don't I do this more often? Those thoughts where you're like, whenever you eat fruit, you're like, I don't understand why I don't eat fruit all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I put that out there, and then I was like, that doesn't need to be.
But you know what? those are the ones that go viral. I swear
It's
to
true.
God.
It's true.
Where you put
I
no
demand
thought
that you
into it.
repost it. I demand you repost it.
I demand it.
Because I'm thinking the same thing. Now, citrus season. Are we reveling in it, ladies? What's
I hate
citrus?
citrus.
Do you really?
I do. I've
Oh my
always
God. Do you have
had.
reflux?
Wow, blowback.
Well, I do have the GERD. I do have the GERD. But
Okay, yeah,
even
the
before,
acidic.
I hated oranges. I feel like I'm a little allergic.
Oh, maybe you need I don't like oranges, but I like what's the sumo oranges, or like the cara oranges, the really sweet ones.
Yes, I know
those
what you're
ones
calling.
I like.
Yeah.
Or like I like the little mandarins.
Yes.
too.
But if you have GERD, you can't have it at all.
No. Okay.
If you have acid reflux. And then I do like grapefruit, but you can't do that if you're on like
It's
any
so
medication.
acidic. Really?
Oh, I just heard it. If you're doing like acid or ecstasy or some like hallucinate, I'm like Lex, chime in whenever. It fucks it up or something, right? What's the
Really?
can we get? What is it?
I don't know what it is. It's just highly acidic and it
Yeah.
interacts with the
It's highly acidic,
Especially
and it
for like the
interacts
depression
with
pills.
the other acid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
Wow.
So
this is
because
news to me.
somebody went on like I think maybe like an ayahuasca. This is something a friend of mine, a friend of a friend or
A
whatever.
local shaman.
Some kind of trip, and
Astoria.
it wasn't. She couldn't figure out why it didn't work, and she was eating like a lot of citrus. Or, like
Oh,
grapefruit.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it interfered with acid and things like that.
Yeah.
But I do know if you're on antidepressants, you can have grapefruit.
Wow.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. And my therapist has never mentioned that when I was diagnosed. Do you have the?
Okay.
grapefruit juice can block the action of intestinal CYP3A4. So instead of being metabolized, more of the drug enters the blood and stays in longer.
Oh, so it actually makes the acid stay in longer.
Yeah, but I think it's
Okay.
metabolized different.
It's metabolized differently
So it
because
just
of the
hangs out, but it
grapefruit.
doesn't do
Do
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
It's like a loser friend that comes over.
It's so hilarious.
A
But, you know,
grifter in your stomach.
but what a great like trick if your friend's like wiling out, like doing way too much acid. You're like, quick, get him a grapefruit. He's out of control. I had a pomelo yesterday, and I have to say it was.
I don't know what that is.
A pomelo's
I know.
like one of those giant. It's like such a flex of like a fruit person, like my
know.
pomelo that I got at the Filipina farmers market. Yeah, like the pomelo is like a citrus that's like it's like a grapefruit. It's a type of grapefruit, but it's huge.
Oh, there you go.
It's a
like a
huge
lime
one.
grapefruit.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a big one. And I have to say, it was a little bit of a letdown because it was so big. Like some of the little juice vessels were kind of hard. It
Yeah,
was pithy.
lime is
it
like
took me
that.
forever to peel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it was like $5. I was like, look at me. I didn't even want to eat it by the end. I was just like, I guess I'm not going to throw it out.
Did you eat it in one sitting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not that big then.
Yeah.
Well, oh, no, it is. It's gigantic, but then a lot of the peel comes off.
Wait,
a lot of
where
the
did you
pith
get
comes
it?
off. I got
Was it
it
a
at
spur
trade
of the
fair.
moment where you're like,
I saw it at trade fair. They said I actually was taken in by no, it was Fairway. I was taken in by Fairway's
like,
marketing.
Mike.
They said they were having a citrus fiesta.
You know that's made up.
Yeah. I said I must participate. So I bought a lot of citrus that day.
Yeah, I can't get into the citrus. I know I should eat more fruit, but I don't.
Now, do you have lemons like in recipes or anything like that? Because I love like Meyer
well, that
lemons.
would require me to cook, but
Oh.
sure.
Yeah.
No, we do have a lemon and lime.
Little lemon, yeah.
do you ever, what is your lady journey?
Yes,
what would you
tell us what your
consider what
journey is
your
on.
lady journey? Do you like put gloves on to moisturize your hands? Do you
Oh.
like,
Well, I'm really into. I get a lot of headaches.
Okay.
So I realized
yes.
the
That's
other
a lady
day,
journey.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of eye masks, like a lot.
now have
okay?
you cracked the code and do you figure out, I find migraines to be one of nature's biggest mysteries.
Truly.
People
Well-
don't know why they cause them, but are you one of them people that get them all the time?
I get them a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've had a real journey.
Yes,
with it.
take us on this journey. Take us on the journey.
You have to find the right doctor. For a while, I was going to a guy who had done research into magnesium.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he would give me a giant magnesium shot. But then he became like, he didn't take insurance. And I'm like,
course.
it's me and all these Upper East Side ladies. And I'm like, well, I don't fit in here. Like, I got to go. I can't
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
you. So then I had to find the right, and like one neurologist hadn't been giving me enough medication. Like you have to take more medication than, like he'd been giving me 50 milligrams and I needed 100.
Yes.
But now they've really, like in my lifetime, they've gotten so much better with migraines. And I'll tell you a little secret. I get Botox now.
Wow.
Does that help?
Looks good. Looks good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I love that I have a new excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
My head's hurting.
I mean, it does help. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
That's wild. I did not know that.
I'm also I don't ever want to go off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
And usually as you get older, like a lot of women do, they don't get them as much, but I'm still getting
the
them.
migraines.
Yeah.
There's several. I think Nikki Glaser gets them a lot. Like people always have their own technique to get rid of them. Like I think she had like a vibrator.
Yeah.
And right here just pointed to a pressure point and just let it rest. But like some people have to wear like weighted eye masks.
Yep.
Be in
I
a
got
dark
them
room.
all. Yep.
Yeah. I've
And-
never had that, and I've dealt with friends, and I've always been like so intrigued to be like, this is an insane phenomenon.
It's
like,
terrible.
It is, because you can't. The regular person cannot commiserate with you.
You can't. You don't know. You just don't know if you haven't had it. And I don't know. Like, so I have all these masks, and then you also have to have the cold masks.
Okay,
So recently, they have this thing where it's like you put it over your head. It's very.
Is it silk?
Yeah, it's like
But it's
sort
like
of
a hat
like
thing?
it's a cold like thing you put over your head, and then I have another one you wrap over your head that has little ice all over it, little ice packs.
Wow.
So
And that helps.
I like the cold, but then you put the others in the microwave to heat up.
Yes.
But I realized the other day I'm a little addicted because I have a lot of them.
How many do you have, do you think, total?
Well, the warm mask, I probably have like 7.
Okay.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
I'm also addicted to buying on Amazon these masks that come from China, which probably are killing me or something. But I think they're just heat warmers on a mask.
Okay.
And they're terrible for the environment. Like it's all
they're
paper
disposable.
and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
disposable. But I'm sort of into that one too.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I say fuck it. Just drive this planet into the ocean.
I mean, I know I have the reusable ones, but I'm like, let's just pop. And I'm sure from China,
It's just like a pad. It's a pad for the eyes.
It's a pad for the eyes.
It's
But
fine.
and then I do acupuncture too, which does help.
Oh, yeah. The acupuncture. That seems like it would help.
I don't really understand acupuncture.
I don't either,
but it does work.
People, I believe in it.
I love
Yes,
the
me
idea of
too.
it as a bougie practice
Yeah,
for
it is.
myself
It
that I
is.
want to do it.
It is.
I love eye masks too. I had a really incredible one. It was a silk. It was pure silk, like the
yes.
mulberry, and I would sleep with it. I slept amazing. Ended up leaving it, and
no.
like on a trip, of course,
Oh, I
immediately.
meant like it sounded like leaving it as if you broke up with it.
It was toxic. I had to get it out of my life.
I was too into it.
And I've since gotten so many that are like I try to replace it with so many ones. I have the one that doesn't press on your eyes. I have the one that has lavender in the eyes too, which is really lovely. But nothing's ever come close. I think I just need to, because the silk one I had gotten it for free from something. But then you're like, oh, just buy a new one. You're like, no, I won't. It was $85.
Yeah.
I'll never see
That's
that
the
again.
thing. And
Yeah.
then you get all the other stuff. Like you get the, there's this like pole I have that's supposed to like really get into your muscles.
that
like it's like a
ergonomic
hook.
one, so you can do your
Yes.
own that digs in.
Yeah, I'm so into all this stuff and all the stuff from China. Like the
China's amazing when it comes
amazing.
to.
Oh, I just got this ring that's supposed to be a meditation ring. You
Oh,
just
kind of like
twirl.
Oh, it's like a fidget
ring.
spinner for the hand.
fidget
Yeah.
spinner. I have not meditated, but I twirl it. It's quite fun.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Here's another revolutionary thought I just had. I don't think I've never seen results with meditation that I'd rather have something like that. And then we were going to talk about patriarchal spirituality in the next,
Yes.
in one of the few
Coming
episodes,
soon.
where like
Patriarchal spiritual,
meaning
wow.
like all the Huberman, like cold plunge and
The Huberman
meditating, and
husband
they
guys
have all
who are
these
life
guys
hacking.
are able to do all this, and you're like, well, what's your wife doing while you're doing all this? And then
yes.
it's just mainly talking about like, women's duties are never considered spirituality, but cleaning can be quite meditative. And I'm like this, and you see results where meditation, I don't ever see results.
I mean,
Yeah.
you vacuum, you see results.
Yes. And it's meditative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
Although
feel
that doesn't
good.
make me do it all the time. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love cleaning the space. I love cleaning the space. It's a reset for the mind. I will, but again, for me also, it's now become like another thing that I will do to procrastinate where I'm like, I haven't done any work. I've been cleaning my home every day. stay for a month and a half, and it's spotless. But I haven't left, and I haven't seen any friends.
I mean, my cleaning is sort of slapdash, really.
Here and there.
It's here and there. You know, I don't like to dust, but sometimes
It's an
like
ongoing
when the sun
job.
comes in, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
the dust is really terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I find it worse in New York than any other place.
Oh, totally.
Because you'll dust and then like a day later you're like, how is it back?
Like, what's the point?
It's a horror film.
I'm really into my lady journey does include I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but air purifiers.
Oh, tell us
journey.
everything. Yes.
That is a lady journey.
I was-
lady journey.
Last year when we were overcome by the tree smoke from the forest burning.
Oh,
Yeah.
remember that?
yeah, I
that
remember
was
that.
fun.
That
It was
Oh my
fun.
gosh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so
So
funny.
fun.
Oh my God, stay in.
I mean,
I remember I was supposed to do something with you. You canceled, and I was like,
canceled.
I'm not going by myself. Well, you
No.
were pregnant. I was like, you should probably stay in. You're like, I'm
canceled the
running.
spot. Yeah, it felt wonderful.
You could. Your eyes were burning.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, I still went out, for a snack.
I mean, you had to go out
obviously,
a little bit, but you're like, oh God, this is terrible.
At that time, I was like, oh wow, I should have an air purifier. I don't. I had a humidifier, and then I was kind of looking into it lightly online, and then the smoke was gone. But ever since then, it's been on my
on your
list, on my D list of things that I should look into.
Well, I have one. I mean, we only have 3 rooms, but I put one in every room.
Okay.
And I don't know what, like, one I spent a significant amount of money on. My husband doesn't even know how
what
much I
does an
spent.
air purifier do?
I
Right.
don't
Does
know.
it
I
suck
think
in?
it's all baloney.
Or does it release and hold on to particles?
Yes,
Like,
it's supposed to hold on to particles and then
I love
release
the
fresh
science.
air.
When you hear the science, you're like,
That does,
Is that
how
real?
can they? Do they have the technology
yeah,
to hold onto particles?
And this expensive one has an app, and then also you can see how good the air is. But sometimes it turns red, and you're like, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
Wow.
But and then
We're dying.
I spent a little bit less for the bedroom one, and then recently Amazon had a special for a $30 one.
Okay.
and it's small, so I picked that one. But I think it's all baloney, to be honest. I think it just makes you feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it does get some things out of the air.
yeah.
But
Well, indoor air pollution is a thing, I think that, and we didn't open our windows for a long time because of the scaffolding, which is now gone. Thank God. We had scaffolding for like 10 months.
that's terrible.
But so we were never opening the windows because every time we did, it would just be like dust and debris from
Yeah.
the scaffolding. So we would keep it closed, but then it's like you're cleaning, and then like that's in the air.
Yeah.
Or cooking, and then like whatever, like something burnt from the oven, like that's, and it just stays in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that thing that people in houses, that little filter thing?
Is that an air purifier?
What do you mean
What-
with little filters?
You know when they change out, but I always,
I think that's something for the heating.
is that the
heating.
Oh, in an actual house?
Yeah, in an actual house. You know that thing where it's a grated thing and then you pull it out and then you have to replace it?
I think that's
Oh, you know, like a
Central heating in there.
yeah,
is
for
it?
a
Okay.
furnace
Yeah,
or
for the
something
furnace.
like
I
that.
thought that was like that purifies air, but that
oh
doesn't.
Yeah.
yeah, it's doing something.
But
I don't know what the hell it is.
But so, like, you can spend a lot of money on it or not. I don't know. It makes me feel better, but I think it's baloney. I
Are
really
you a
do.
humidifier person? Do you humidify in the winter?
Well, I should, but it's in the closet and I haven't gotten it out yet.
Same. The humidifier is so much work.
So much work.
Oh my
Well-
gosh! It's like you have to fill it. Okay, that's the first thing. I had a cool mist one, so it was like taking our floor. The varnish was coming off our floor because it would
Yes.
just be a puddle throughout the night, and then you get all these mineral deposits. I read the thing; it said you're supposed to use distilled water. It's like, well, I don't drink that.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go to the store and buy a jug of distilled water every day.
Well,
I don't believe in distilled water either. Like, I feel like I
What does
just
that
put
even
regular
mean?
water in my iron and it's fine.
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
my husband has a CPAP. I know. The romance never
Lucky
ends,
girl.
ladies. And you have to use distilled water for that.
Because the
Okay.
mineral deposits,
I guess. I don't
if
know.
you use it over and over again, right?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
assuming.
why, but so we have like you, and you really have to look for distilled water. It's not like everywhere.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, not in the city, I'm sure.
No, it's
that was a
not.
fun pandemic scavenger hunt, I bet.
Well, it's like I put a heater in the nursery because I was worried that it was too cold in that back room because New York has bad engineering.
Yeah.
We're like,
I know
why is
you-
one room 100 degrees and the other one's an ice box back here?
That's our
Sometimes it's
place
like
right
a
now.
sauna. Your eyes are dry. You're
Yeah.
like roaming around the apartment. You're like, it's so hot in here.
You're like thirsty all the time. So I have the heater on all night, and then I'm like, well, now my baby and I are getting dried up in here, and then I'm like, I can't have all these contraptions, like, and I can't put a humidifier also with the heater. Like, it just feels like it's like an iron lung is happening in our bedroom, like just like levers of like,
the humidifier is blowing into the heater and it's just sparking.
I'm like, it's like a steam engine going on in our room where I'm like, I just need only one thing during the night. Like, I cannot have 3 appliances on at once.
Yeah.
I also have the snoo, which is a bassinet that rocks him to sleep all night that makes loud noises, but
Just
he
in
likes
a factory. You're just in like a factory from the 20s, like boop boop, or like
You're getting ready he's getting ready to live in the city.
yeah,
He's
like-
getting
like
ready.
Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. Well, I went to check. We got new heaters in our place, so we have now heat controlled, which is fun because the more you turn it up, the more your heat bill is skyrocketing. So we're like, how about 65? Can we live with it at that? Is that good? So we've been keeping it low, but I was like, okay, so we've got that. We've got the humidifier, and then I was like, maybe I should check the batteries on our what's that thing that checks the air, right? There's like
the
carbon monoxide poisoning,
yes.
right? So I was like, man, this thing looks old. And I checked and there's never been any batteries in it. And I was like, I got to get an air purifier. I'm like, I got to get a carbon monoxide detector that works. And you know, it's on the list. It's on the list.
on the D
But
list.
if you want to start with a baby air purifier, Lavoit, that's the brand.
Okay,
is
good to
on
know.
Amazon, and it was selling for like $30, and it's little.
Okay.
Lavoie.
Lavoit.
Oh, maybe I'll get that for
yeah.
my little
And it
Dean.
doesn't make
Yeah.
noise, so it wouldn't
Okay.
add to the noise. But then also my lady journey lately, because I'm at a certain age, is a lot of heating pads.
Oh,
so I sleep with 2.
Is that- I have a heating pad.
Yeah.
The heating pads have been scared into me from the 80s.
What do you mean?
Meaning like
Burning on like the hot
I
water
still
bottle.
have that, yeah.
I put it into the category of smoking while you're sleeping.
Yes.
The
Well, you
electric
got to get the
blanket.
automatic
Yeah.
off ones.
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause it just feels like a fire hazard waiting to happen in New
Well,
York.
Yes.
if it is, it is. I mean, what am I going
You're
to
gonna
do?
die
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I have one for like that's flat,
Okay.
that like, but it's big and it goes like your torso, your whole
Yes.
torso, and then you have you ever gotten the ones that just go over your shoulders?
Oh,
yeah.
And this is
Yeah,
while you
yeah,
sleep
yeah.
with this. You sleep with it. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I do wake up in a very bad sweat because I'm like, what's happening? Cooking, and it's like, you know? My husband's like, you're under like 27 pounds of heat, but whatever. And one time, it's talking about New York City heat, I started waking up at 3 a.m. every day, and I was by the radiator, and I was like, oh great, I'm my mother now. She gets up at 3 a.m. This is it. What am I gonna do?
Here we go.
And I was like freaking out, and then Doug figured out that we could turn off the radiator, and at 3 the heat came on and would wake me up and make me all hot.
wow.
And I was like, oh thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not my mom.
Yeah, I know. Because once
Wow.
you start going to sleep like 7, 8, 9, it's over.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like halfway there. I'm like 9:30. I'm like,
Well,
I don't wanna
especially
go
as
to
a
sleep.
comedian, if we
Yeah.
can be home, that's a little different. I feel
yeah,
like.
well, or it's the depression. I just want to crawl in where I don't have to think. But I have started going at my gym. I made it a point. This is maybe not a New Year's resolution, but my gym, Crunch Fitness, the flagship location, thank you, at 34th Street, they have a steam room. And I was like, I've been at the gym for a year, and I'm like, whatever. And I was like, I have to start going. I just
wear shoes. Joe
Yeah,
just got
wear
the worst
shoes.
planner
Really?
warts from Equinox. You wouldn't think Equinox
oh my
has
gosh,
planner
this
wart
is a
floors.
PSA.
You have
Wow.
to. I
They're
was
vicious.
just. You ever watch that show, My Feet Are Killing Me?
No.
No.
What? There's a show called My Feet Are
Yeah,
Killing Me?
it's pretty-
Is it TLC?
Yes.
I figured.
Oh,
And it has like 2
They're
hot
like the sideshow freaks of TV.
Yeah, like 2. I guess they're dermatologists. No, I think they're
Podiatrists?
podiatrists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw one a TikTok of a woman that had the most insane calluses and has to crawl everywhere around her apartment.
But if you watch it a lot, they talk about fungus and they're like, it's really easy to get. It's really hard to not get over it.
This is putting the fear of God into me of my foot.
They said you always have to wear shoes in the gym and like showers and stuff.
Yeah, good to know. Very good to know. Well, I actually have not been, but I will now. I'm going to turn a new leaf because
put some shoes on your D list.
Yeah, put some shoes. That's going to be on my D list. Right after I get the carbon monoxide detector to make sure I'm not dying in my sleep. I have noticed that there are some women there that are misusing the sauna and steam room. Like I saw a woman in there reading fully nude, just reading. I'm like, you're not supposed to be in there for that long that you would need a prop.
Book get wet?
Yeah, doesn't the book get wet?
And also like nude, like just put a towel lightly over your bosom. Like you
should come in with your computer.
I never stop working. And then I saw another girl in the steam room who was just in the steam room in her gym clothes, and I want to be like, I don't want to be like the C word.
Yeah, because you're like steaming your BO in here.
Right. Like, or like also like you're gonna get a yeast infection, hun. Like get out for your own good.
I love how you say bosom. Not a lot of people
draping
use bosom.
across
the
bosom. Well, it was ample. That's why I'm thinking of that word.
Yeah,
I noticed. I said I don't go in the sauna too much because it's a little too dry for me. I prefer the steam.
I like the steam.
Yeah.
It opens your pores.
Yes.
Opens your pores. It's good for my blepharitis.
Yes.
Which is my eye. That's my eye condition where my eyes are just
every episode.
I love to bring it up. I love to bring it up, and then people say, "I'm like, you don't know what it is. Do you have an hour? Do you have 2 hours for me to talk about myself?" But yeah, the steam room it's been a godsend because it's freezing in my apartment all the time, and I can keep it cool. I go to the gym, get my hot shower, get my steam, and then I'm just warm for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
it's great. It's
perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
So perfect.
So I use a lot of things to help me get through the day, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
I love it. I love these various lady journeys.
Yeah.
These are great.
That's my lady
Yeah.
journey. I realized
never-
on the way here.
All that stuff, because then you just think of, especially in New York, where it feels like we have to go on lots of lady journeys because it's a hellhole here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are kind of always trying to do all these little things to like keep yourself from going over the precipice. You know, it's not a restful place where it's easy to take care of yourself.
No, because every situation is different. Do you know what I mean? Like the example I think of is like, I was just talking to Joe. I was so naive about buying strollers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just thought you could just get a stroller and it didn't matter. No, you need a stroller to deal with a 2-story walk up.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do babies on a 3 or 4-story walk up.
Yeah, you need like the RoboCop of strollers. That's like
Roll itself down.
A slinky, like a slinky.
Yeah. But and it's like also finding the perfect jacket. You have to have a jacket for every 10 degrees of weather.
Yes.
And so I have millions of jackets where if I lived in another place, you only need one jacket and you would bring it out for 1 week out of that year.
Yeah. You ever go to a town where they have like garages attached to their home and then you see people out in like the winter and they're just wearing like strappy heels? You're like, oh, you can do that here.
Yeah.
You're not trudging through ice with your bare feet.
Well, and when you leave in New York City for the day, you have to bring a lot of stuff. You have to be prepared.
A capacious bag.
It is.
Well.
So it's like a city that is small living space, but you have to have millions of journey things with you. So you can't, you're cluttered all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, also, you have to buy shoes for, I have sneakers, but I have to have sneakers for if it's raining.
Yes.
Leather sneakers.
Yeah. I have like 4 rain boots.
Ends.
Yeah. A rain jacket when it's cold, a rain jacket when it's hot. Yeah.
Well,
it's
speaking
very
about
true.
this, having a giant bag, I always have a giant bag. I have a lot of stuff in there.
You got to have your big old fucking bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
With
part of my lady journey too is I wear backpacks now because it does help your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find the crossbody now, sometimes if you have too much, you're just like,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
you're like the
scoliosis.
Hunchback of Notre Dame over
and it
there.
doesn't
like-
solve all your problems, but it helps. But my new lady journey is if I go to a concert or something, I just put my ID in and like some lipstick and my phone, but like I go with nothing. I don't go with a bag anymore.
I'm very into this. I've been doing that with my coat. Like my coat has a lot of pockets.
Yeah.
I put my phone, I have my credit card, and then ID, and then just then I'm just and keys. And I'm just out in the world.
Yeah, and it's so freeing.
You feel like a man. Oh my God.
First you're like, no, I could not possibly do that. And then it's like, well, you can.
Yeah. They're trying to weigh us down.
They are trying to weigh us down. And I'm like, why do I need this facial toner spray? And
I may need to hydrate my face at a moment's notice.
I have one of those
down with facial toner.
I have a peppermint oil stick. Why do I need any? And a lint brush, of course.
Yes.
The bigger the bag, the more
they want us to die.
To put
they do.
They're trying to weigh us down in the river.
Yeah. And then I have 3 different pairs of glasses because I don't like bifocals. I mean, you know, it does get you weighed down.
Well, I just got which I'm so excited about, prescription sunglasses finally. So, but now it does add where I'm like, now instead of me just wearing a hat over my glasses, now I have the case for these glasses, my other glasses, and then various sprays and cleansers in case there's a smudge, of course.
Yes.
Well, now I understand why when you get older, you buy Envisions where your glasses turn into sunglasses during the day.
I don't
My
know.
mom has them, and it does date you a little, but I'm like this. I get it now. Also, when I'm older,
One
I
and
just
done.
wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. Comfortable shoes.
No more.
I don't see anybody in New York in shoes that are impractical.
Well, you go to the east side. I think fashion models and things like that.
Well, I've just started watching Sex in the City again. I do a yearly. Let's do this again. And I'm just blown away that they walking around with heels.
Wildly
in that town.
impractical. Yeah, the Manolo Blahnik.
She's running around in her heels.
She's running around. I mean, she does take cabs. She never takes the train, really.
But
So
I
it
can't
kind
even
of makes
do,
sense.
I
But
can't do heels even to the cab.
no, I can't walk around my home in heels.
I have to go to a wedding in a couple of weeks, and I'm like, what kind of shoes am I going to wear?
You know what I do? I
Fancy
do
flats.
the cheat. I do the cheat where I do have Mary Janes. Now, my Rothy Mary Janes, they do not sponsor us, but they should.
I'm
That's
looking
very
into them.
cute.
The
What are they called?
Rothy's, they're
They're
made,
$150, but they're
but they have
substantial.
sales. They have sales because I got mine $89, and you'll have them for at least a couple of years. They're made from recycled plastic bottle caps.
Yeah.
The Mary Janes are really cute. They also have different mules. They have no heels, but I do if I'm going to a wedding or something, I do the little platform where it's like a 1-inch heel, but it's on a platform, so you can't tell. It's like a little cheat.
Yeah.
So
really
easy.
Yeah.
Well, now there's been a sock trend with heels, and I'm totally into that because my feet would be cold.
Yeah,
So now I'm just I'm gonna
trend with heels.
I'm gonna wear socks with heeled shoes or strappy shoes.
I love this.
Yeah.
That's kind of that 50s look.
Love it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Although I saw Sarah Jessica Parker once on the street.
Yes.
And she was wearing those shoes, those types of shoes she wears on Sex and the City, but she looked ridiculous. Matthew Broderick was waiting for her, and she was right. First off, she's 2 pounds wet, but also she couldn't walk. I mean, you can't walk in them.
No,
and she can
no.
walk in them, but she couldn't walk like you walk on a street.
Right, in New York, you're walking way
Yes.
faster than you would. If you're wearing those out to a wedding or something, it's you're sitting. Maybe you're doing one dance for posterity to be polite.
But
Then, you're going to the bar, you're sitting down.
I just feel they're not a great shoe for a city that might be a #1 destination for a terrorist attack. You gotta have a shoe to run.
Yeah,
you
gotta
may
have
need
a
to
shoe
run.
run.
You may need to run at any time.
And also, I don't mean to bring this up, but all you do during the day is try not to step in shit.
Right.
So
Yes.
I don't know what you do when you're
So funny that you say that.
Oh, hilarious.
I remember. The city we live in.
Waka waka.
I remember when I was in my early 20s and I was living in the East Village and I was living my best life. I was hot. I was young.
In the city.
I was in the city. I had a great apartment and I would go out to my little shows, my little stand-up shows, and I would be doing my hair and wearing my fanciest little t-shirt. And I would come out and I'd have my music on and I would feel like I was in a movie and I would just get hit with the stench of hot garbage just hitting you. And you're like, that'll put you in your place.
Yeah.
I mean, but don't get me started on people that don't pick up dog shit. I don't understand.
I'm going to get you started on it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should ask, or I brought it up. But my friend, he lives in Jackson Heights, and I guess somebody was I'm like, you're turning into an old man, but somebody was not walking his dog all the time and not cleaning up the shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I reported to 311, and you know what you have to do? You have to watch yourself Like he would have to sit by the window and watch and wait for the guy.
Yeah.
And then could he give them a ticket? I mean, it was this complicated. He's like, I
It's
can't,
not
I
worth
can't
it.
commit to this.
Well, once you get an a vengeful mindset, I could see myself going
yes.
there.
But like, I forget if he
It's a
could write the
privilege to go
ticket.
vengeful.
yeah. Yeah. You're like, I'm doing so well, I'm now a vigilante.
I have the time.
I have the time.
And the money.
energy.
Yeah.
And let's finish up there. Liz, thank you so much for joining us on Lady Journey.
You're welcome.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
At Liz Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And I have an album, Getting By, where you can get that everywhere.
You can get it everywhere. And please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon. We have $5 and $10 tiers and enjoy your Lady Journey.
Lady Journey.